Hello. How are you? I hope you're well. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share some thrift finds and talk about sustainability and thrifting and secondhand shopping and all that jazz and my thoughts on it. And I thought I would share some of the amazing thrift finds that I have found. Maybe of all time. I don't have all of them with me, but I thought I'd share a few that I think are my favorites. Let's start with the clothing. I have an issue as a tall girl finding modern clothing, or not modern clothing, but newer made clothing that fits my body and fits my legs especially. So jeans are a real struggle for me, and I tend to have to shop in the men's jeans section, but then alter everything I find and it still doesn't feel good. I have only found success with jeans at thrift stores, and I found the best pair of jeans I've ever found yet at a thrift store for $9. And they're Levi's. Now these jeans, they are a baggier fit. They're just bigger on me, which is fine. I kind of like that baggier fit. My jeans that I've worn in the past tend to be a bit more slim fitting and tight, which is very uncomfortable. I don't like the feeling of that. I had to take the waist in of these a lot. They had I don't know what the waist was, but these are exactly the inseam that fits me, and I got them for $9. And they were brand new. That was the other kicker. So they were brand new. They still had the original tags on and everything. And I was shocked, and I didn't even try them on. No, I did try them on the thrift store, and I was amazed that they even fit. Best find, and that was very recently. The second item is probably one of maybe the best thrift find I've ever found, and that is this wool long jacket. The brand is Jessica, which I've tried to research, and I feel like it was like a 90s brand that went out. I don't know. It's lovely. It's wool, and it fits me perfectly, like in the arms and everything. And I think I got it for $4 maybe. I got it last winter, and it is a little bit boxy, but I don't mind that, and I love it so much. It is everything I could have ever wanted in a winter jacket. The next item is also a jacket, and it is this cherry red authentic leather jacket by the brand Sequence, which I've never heard of before, but I love it. It is so stunning. When I saw it, I knew I had to get it because it reminded me of Lorelai Gilmore, and at the time I was in my Lorelai Gilmore phase era. I wanted to be her, which don't we all secretly just want to be Lorelai Gilmore? I feel like that's a shared experience. Anyways, I don't wear this as much, but when I do wear it, it's a showstopper. She's lovely. It's definitely not an everyday thing for me, which I wish it could be. Maybe one day I'll get to that point, but I love it. I think it's just such a beautiful statement piece to have. It's so beautiful. I think this was $10. Next thing we have is this stunning, authentic leather vest with shag. That's shag, right? Fringe, with fringe. And it fits me perfectly. I got this at an antique store for $30, I believe. And I don't know if that's the brand, but it says the Leather Ranch. I love it so much. It is my cowgirl, biker, pirate dreams. I love her so much. Haven't really had the chance to wear her because I haven't figured out where I want to wear it yet, but she's stunning, and she smells like an old man wore it. Cigars. The last two items that I wanted to share are dresses, and I have so much luck finding dresses at the thrift store. And I always find the ones that I find at the thrift store are specifically made for tall girls. Like this one, the brand is literally called Tall Girl, so it fits me perfectly. Mind you, I did also have to take the waist in of this one, but lengthwise and bust-wise, stunning. I think I got this for $12 maybe. It was a little bit more pricey, and it has this tie at the back, and at the bottom on either side there's slits on all four sides, and I think that's so beautiful. I just love the fit of it, and I think these red tones I like to wear them. I think they look great on me personally. I think it's a good color for me. I really love it. This last dress has been like my obsession, and I think I wore it pretty much from the time I bought it last September, August until like basically all through the year. Like I wear this dress at least once a week. It is probably my favorite thrift clothing find in the entire world. It was the dress of my dreams, still is. I can't believe I found it sometimes. Everybody loves this dress. I get so many compliments on this dress. It is this bodycon-ish I don't even know how to describe it, this navy blue with white patterned flowers on it, and it is just so beautiful. It has a seam all the way down the back, and it's long, goes down to like my ankles. It's just like the 90s dress of my dreams. I love it so much. I wear it so much. That's it for clothing. I have so many, pretty much at this point, I would say 98% of my wardrobe consists of thrifted items, which I am very proud of. I've been able to accumulate these items over like the past 4 years. I've accumulated all these items and I love them so much. And when I thrift clothing items, I do my best to be very intentional with them, because it's very easy to be allured by the price tag of an item rather than will you actually wear it. So it's taken time to learn what I like and what is worth it when I'm thrifting clothing, but I'm pretty proud of myself for what I have been able to find. And those are just a few of my favorite go-to pieces that I love so much. I love thrifting and buying books secondhand. There's something so special about being able to read a book that is pre-loved and you know that somebody appreciated the book, or maybe they hated it. That's still valid. And then they wanted to share it with another person. And I do my best. I really try to source the books that I want to get from secondhand before I go to a traditional bookstore or buy them online. And there's also great resources online that I will link in the description to buy thrifted books online if thrifted bookstores or secondhand bookstores are just not accessible to you. I have found so many great books at my local secondhand bookstores that I'm amazed, and usually brand new or incredible editions of the printed book that I love so much. Sometimes they're annotated, which I love. I think that's even cooler to be able to get an annotated book. But I thought I would share some of my favorite, most recent secondhand book finds that I have. I have a stack right beside me. Now, this is only a few of the most recent secondhand books that I found. I have so many more, and if you're interested in a video on all of the secondhand books that I have found, or the ones that I especially love, let me know if you want me to make a video about that, because I will, and I would love to do that. Here's just a small collection of the ones that I found recently. This book, Salt on Your Tongue, by Charlotte Runcie. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Runcie. I was immediately attracted to the cover. Like that's a beautiful cover. It's about women in the sea. Basically, is like the tiniest blurb that I can do about it, which is literally that's what it says on the cover. And that immediately drew me in. So I was like, of course, I'm gonna read that. I've already started reading it. Beautiful. The next book, I was so happy to find this, and I found this probably last week at my favorite secondhand bookstore. And I've been meaning to get this book. That's the thing with buying secondhand books, is that I always try and do it intentionally, or I have an idea of a book that I want to get in mind. And it's always, I'm about to buy it at a big bookstore, and then I find it at secondhand thrift store. And I'm like, yes, it's even better. It feels just like even luckier. So this is Bonjour Tristesse. I'm absolutely butchering that because I don't know how to pronounce Tristesse. I wish I did, because I'm making such a fool out of myself. This is by François Sagan. I'm also butchering that. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I love this book so much. It's so beautiful. I found this for $9, I think, which is a little bit more pricey than what I usually spend on secondhand books, but it was so worth it to me. I got this book for free, and I just liked the cover. And I thought, hey, poetry books. I love poetry books. Why not? Next book is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, a beautiful classic. It's for $6.50. Also love this edition. Like, look at this cover. That's so beautiful. I love it. It's in perfect condition. Another classic. I love secondhand classics. I love it. Why would you buy a brand new classic? Just go buy a secondhand classic. Pride and Prejudice, $3.50. My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I had made a video about this. I've talked about this book so much. I got this for $7, I think, at my local thrift store. Brand new. Brilliant read. Those are some of my favorite thrifted books that I have, and again, I have so many more that I would love to share, and so let me know if you would like me to make a separate video talking about those books and sharing some more resources for sourcing secondhand books. The next category I want to talk about is homeware and home goods, which there's something extra special about the home goods section of a thrift store, specifically the pottery and the glassware. I just love the little knickknacks. I'm a girly who loves the knicks and the knacks. Girlies who girly knickknack gang, rise up. I don't have everything that I've bought that I love for knickknack, for the knickknack category, but I will show what I have. And if you can see behind me, these beautiful candle holders, which I think are just the most stunning thing on earth. These candle holders are thrifted for like 50 cents, and I actually have slowly collected these exact types, and I found my first one probably about almost a year ago, and I was obsessed with it. It was my favorite thing ever. And then yesterday I was in the thrift store and I found 2 variations of that exact one, and I found one variation in green. I mean, I felt like the luckiest girl in the world. I love to thrift plant pots or even pottery in general that is not necessarily supposed to be for plants, like old broken chipped china or just some random mug. I love to use that for smaller plants, and I will show what I mean by that. And I think it is just a really fun way to spice up your decor, make it a little funky, whatever you like. I also love thrifting frames and mirrors. That's where I get all my frames and mirrors, is the thrift store. I do not buy brand new frames or mirrors. Just don't do it. Your thrift store is gonna have some, and they're gonna be better than you could ever imagine. Trust me, believe me. My entire gallery wall, thrifted, secondhand. So good. I love it so much. Hello everybody, this is the talking portion of the thrifting video where I wanted to come on and have a discussion about conscious consumption while shopping secondhand, shopping at thrift stores, because it is easy to overconsume. Even though it typically can be a more environmentally conscious way to consume rather than buying brand new, it still can contribute to overconsumption and a lot of waste. I personally thrift for the joy of thrifting. I thrift for the financial aspects of thrifting and for the sustainability of it. As I've grown up, I've also grown to love the act of thrifting more and more, as less of a way of providing for myself and more of a way of enjoying and curating style and curating what I like. And I feel like thrifting is a very accessible way for me to do that. I really love the act of breathing a second life into pre-loved items. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. There's something so magical in being able to curate unique items for your wardrobe or your home that may otherwise not be able to be found brand new in retail. I've also found that with thrifting, a lot of older items, which thrift stores can have, which is a whole other thing of thrift stores with overconsumption and constantly throwing out clothes, but we'll get to that. I find that if I'm able to find older made items, that the quality of them is much, much better, and they are able to withstand the test of time, as everybody says, and I love that about items. So if I am able to find really good older items, whether that be clothing or home goods, I know that they're gonna last me a longer time rather than buying brand new. So that also contributes to less waste, because then I am not having to constantly replace the things that I own. With the idea of overconsumption in the thrifting community, there is the easy ability to veer towards heavily over-consuming, since thrift stores have typically lower price tags, a lot more items. That is exciting. It's like the human brain dopamine hit. It's very natural to see something, and although you may not be in love with it, you think, I have to get this because this is on sale, this is a good price. And then it sits in the back of your closet and you never look at it. This is where I bring intention into thrifting items. I have learned over the years that I have been thrifting, which has been my whole life, but specifically the last 10 years, I have really made an effort to make my wardrobe consist mostly of thrifted items, and over that time I have learned what it is to be intentional while thrifting. I have gone through so many items of clothing that I bought at the thrift store because I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to see this again, and then I never wore it, and somebody else could have had it, or it could have been used in a different way. And when that happens, the first thing that I do is I see if somebody that I know in my family or my friends would like the item, or I see if I can repurpose it, whether that be using the fabric to make something else or using whatever the item can be in another aspect of my life. before I lean towards donating it. Now, with donating and thrifting is a whole other conversation of waste within this bubble of ethical, conscious consumption while thrifting. There's a big idea and myth that thrifting is the best way to shop because it is the most sustainable ever. And while this is true to a point, when compared to buying constant brand new items that are cheaply made, the environmental part of it is not entirely true, as there are so many clothing items that are being donated to thrift stores to the point that they are having to throw them out. And I've heard a lot of discourse on the internet, especially recently with the rise of Depop and Poshmark sellers, people upselling thrifted items that they only got for a few dollars. And although I do not agree with that, and I'll get into that in a second, I don't feel as though this is directly correlating to a bigger issue for people who need to thrift to get clothes onto their backs. And I may be wrong, and I am open to healthy discourse. Please let me know if there's anything that I'm missing or that needs to be added to, or a different opinion or perspective that you have. I would love to hear it, as long as you are not aggressive or mean. We can have healthy discourse. From my experience and where I live, it seems to be that the impact that people think Depop sellers are having and the popularization of thrifting, I don't feel like that's actually happening on the scale that a lot of people are making it seem as though it is happening. I would actually argue that when these sellers and curators buy in bulk at thrift stores, they are actually contributing to a more positive side of thrifting, where they are taking away the waste that the thrift stores are overwhelmed with. So I think there is obviously two sides to the coin of this, but I don't think that Depop sellers are demons that a lot of people on the internet like to make them out to be. I myself have a Depop account where I sell clothing that I have bought that is good quality. I have loved it a lot, but it is just not something that I go towards anymore, that I don't want taking up space in my closet. I personally don't agree with upselling items a crazy amount. I don't feel like it is necessary for me with the clothing that I have already worn to upsell it. And this is an entirely different story, I'm sure, for people when they are going out and foraging when it's a part of their job to forage in thrift stores. I know that's a whole other thing. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit off topic. That can be a whole separate video. These are all general statements. I want to make a disclaimer that these are all general statements that aren't able to fully capture the nuance of these conversations and of these situations. So again, I welcome healthy discourse if you have anything to say about this. All in all, I think thrifting can be a wonderful practice and a great way to be more conscious of the things that you are consuming and buying, and it is a great way for people to be able to have accessible, fashionable clothing items. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to share or talk about in another video, and I will leave some resources for secondhand stores, thrift stores, to source books and clothes from online if that is not accessible to you. Love you dearly, and goodbye for now. Mwah.